Okay, so one of my favorite people in this ecosystem that we're in is Fisayo Oke. And here is the reason. So Fisayo is the CEO of Gamble Alert, and they had been doing amazing job in terms of, you know, responsible gaming and gambling, and putting things in place to make sure that these people are being attended to and not overlooked. These people are being given the proper help that they need, and basically doing the Lord's work. Fisayo, how are you?
Very well, thank you, Zene. It's good to meet you.
It's always a pleasure to be with you, speaking with you, or even whenever I talk to Benedict. Yeah, because what you guys are doing is amazing, and there's been a lot of conversation about responsible gaming, and I know it can be easy because in a sector this huge, and having this small group of people saying, you know what, we have to see to the interest of millions of people and make sure that they are catered for, they are looked after. How has it been so far?
To be honest, it's been a whole lot of work. It looks like we have our job cut out for us. Doing advocacy, research, and treatment all at once. It's been a whole lot, and then trying to get the industry buy-in. So much of it can be done, but if the industry itself does not respond to responsible gaming, not so much can be achieved. So ensuring that the industry itself, understands the need for responsible gaming, and we're happy. I mean, we're making very good progress, regulator-wise, and then even the operators taking bold steps in terms of responsible gaming. Yeah.
Okay, amazing. We were in a session that just ended, and then it was about responsible gaming across the iGaming ecosystem, the gaming and sports betting ecosystem. But here is my question, because she said something that was very key on stage, and it's really important that people get to have this conversation. You said when the cost of compliance is higher, it makes it difficult, for these people to go through the process of acquiring the right, paperwork, and also for adhering to all of these compliance rules and all of that, and the need for companies or regulatory bodies in charge of this to make sure that it is cost effective for these people to able to acquire. Can you just throw a bit more light on that?
Right. If as a gaming company, I know that if I evade compliance, it's going to cost me way less. If I know that the punishment, for instance, there's a law within the regulatory space that says that the punishment for allowing an underage on your platform is 200 naira. If I know that that's the cost, and I know the cost I'm going to actually bear if I do not allow underage persons, it just doesn't align. So I want to evade because I know it costs less evading than complying. So we're saying that regulators should incentivize compliance, ensure that it costs less. When people realize that it makes more economic sense to comply than not to comply, you will get a lot more compliance. That's the point I was making.
Amazing. Like I said, from the experts. So in other words, when the cost of compliance is higher or lower than the cost of non-compliance, it makes it difficult to achieve the. But when the cost of non-compliance is higher than the cost of compliance, it keeps these people in check, basically. Another question I want to ask you: we're here in the southeast, Enugu. There are so many betting companies here in the southwest, in Lagos, that's like a huge market, and in other, regions that gambling is acceptable in. The question is, how have you been able, or Gamble and Al, have they been able to penetrate all of these regions to make sure that they get through to the market in this space?
Thank you very much. And that's why I was talking about regulatory buy-in and the operator buy-in. We work with a number of regulators, ranging from the southwest to the southeast. I mean, that's why we are here today to have a conversation as well. We realize that we cannot do so much to cover everywhere. But then when we see that regulators are recognizing the important work, they begin to invite the right set of people to have this conversation. As well, for gaming operators, they have on their platform, and that cuts across different aspects of the country, different states in the country. So if you go on a particular gaming company's website now, you will see Gamble Alert listed on that platform as the responsible gaming service provider, right? So it means that whether you're from Imo, or you're from Kano, or you're from Oyo, you can easily have an access to Gamble Alert's responsible gaming services, right?
Thank you so much for talking to us, Fisayo. It's always a pleasure. Like I said earlier, you guys are doing the Lord's work. It is important. This aspect of the ecosystem, it is very, very important, and it cannot be sidelined or overlooked in the scale at which is. So, and I'm very grateful that you and your team are pushing for these conversations to happen in key places that matter. So thank you so much for talking to us here at iGaming Africa. It's always a pleasure talking to you.
Many thanks for talking to me. It's a pleasure as well.
Thank you.